That's it.
It looks like it worked.
It did. Now all three viewers can enjoy us for the whole hour.
Oh, the ones and viewers can enjoy us and your beautiful new blonde hair.
Yes.
So how are you?
Good. How are you, Mama?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm much less busy than you are.
I know.
Tonight's a big night.
Why?
Because Liz Cheney's primary is tonight in Wyoming, and at 9 o'clock sharp, we're going to find out if she gets booted out. And so far, Megan is ahead, and she should be able to go. That's very exciting.
Good.
But you know what time it is now?
What time is it?
It's time for the right stop.
You have a reverb now. It's you.
It's not me. It's actually I think you. But my speakers are all the way down. So I think it's your speakers, Jen. Can you put your volume down on your speakers?
I did, but it's when you talk.
I know it's when I talk because we're getting a reverb from you. Well, tonight's a special night because we're live on Rumble. But everybody gets to hear me twice.
Aren't you guys lucky?
We have watching with us tonight, and we have Leticia Remauro. She sings California.
I had no idea. We've been looking for her for days.
Chris Buddy is telling us about our sound issues. Well, what's going on? Well, tonight is a special edition of the Right Up because we are live on Rumble for the first time we're actually live. So our 5 and Rumble followers don't have to wait until 8 o'clock to see us. Everybody can see us all at the same time. So how is everybody doing today? So Jen, tell us about your week.
My week? I have nothing to tell you ever. You know what I do. I work, and then I work.
Well, I'm going to come and see you so that I can get rid of some screws. But let me tell you what went on today. Today, Californians, Lucille, do you hear this? Californians petition to recall Gascon, the Los Angeles District Attorney, was tossed out because they challenged, the government challenged 250,000 signatures, and so they threw the petition out, and as of right now, the recall is off. So I thought that tonight's show, we should focus on the crime wave across America that is being fueled by Soros-backed district attorneys like Gascon.
So my other half just texted me, unless you fix your mother's feedback, shut the show down. Margie's like, what's with the sound?
I'm telling you, it's on your side. You've got a little top by escape. You've got to hit the
down button on the speaker?
Yeah. Did you hit it?
I'm going on my phone. This computer's gonna go in the garbage.
Well, while you go on your phone, it's your speaker, Jen. But while you go on your phone, let's have our first video. 2 Bravo Beverly Hills housewives have been robbed, and now Hollywood Hills stars and business owners are upping the employment of private security to thwart robbers coming out of the revolving justice system. Watch this clip.
The brazen home invasion robbery of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley captured on camera. Police hoping the pictures will lead them to the suspects.
I need to know something, Camille.
The 45-year-old reality star was home during the terrifying crime October 27th. Police say the gunman threatened to kill her as she pleaded for her life, her children asleep in their rooms. In the video, the two suspects are seen calmly walking up to the large Encino home. It appears they discussed their plans at the back door before breaking in. Investigators say they made off with expensive handbags and luggage like this, as well as jewelry and watches. Kemsley has more than 1 million followers on Instagram, the reality star often sharing images of her wealth and extravagant lifestyle.
Love it.
This video shows the star in her driveway behind the wheel of a high-end sports car. The suspect's stash in the robbery so large they dragged it out in a sheet, hauling it over the bushes to the street. Kemsley isn't the only Real Housewife who has been targeted.
Every single piece of jewelry or handbag you see on this season is gone.
In 2018, Kyle Richards, another star on the long-running show, was robbed of more than $1 million worth of jewelry and other valuables when thieves broke into her Encino mansion. The LAPD hoping this clear video of Kemsley's robberies will be the key to cracking the case. One of the two suspects seen wearing a distinctive pair of fancy shoes in addition to the black hoodies and dark pants. A third suspect also seen leaving the home and then backing up the getaway vehicle, a black four-door pickup. The trio disappearing into the night.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, can you hear the video clips? That's the most important thing. Oh, excellent. Okay. So we found the bug. It was Jen's speakers. So, it's hysterical that the people of Los Angeles cannot exercise their right under their constitution to recall Gascon for allowing a revolving door of justice. But, the housewives of Beverly Hills get robbed and they pull out all the stops to catch the criminals, but they also can invest in getting private security so that they can protect themselves. And this is just where we're going, America. Where, the haves can have more and the have-nots, well, go blow. Hi, ladies. You look fantastic. Thanks, Gloria.
Thank you.
Well, so there's been a lot going on in California under Gascon, and not only were the Beverly Hills housewives robbed, one at gunpoint, but take a look at what's going on in pharmacies, of all places, pharmacies. Let me just get rid of this comment here, and I will show you this clip, Jennifer. They're robbing drugstores.
No.
Pulling up to New Oakland Pharmacy in the city's Chinatown before dawn Thursday. And soon, this happens. The driver repeatedly backs into the business near 9th and Webster, knocking through its gates at about 3:20 in the morning. The pharmacy forced open in the middle of the night. Another view from a camera inside the store. You see the truck ending up almost completely in the lobby after the fourth ramming before it goes back out. The truck plowed right through thick bars, 2 sets of locks, and a steel frame.
The one-ton U-Haul truck ramping, your store, I don't think anything can prevent them to come in.
Tam is also reeling from another break-in at another pharmacy he owned just a half block away. At about 3:30 Tuesday morning, 8 people used a crowbar to force their way into the business, also called New Oakland Pharmacy. Pharmacies across Oakland and throughout the Bay Area have been hit by caravans of thieves. This video shows a large group of burglars inside Wellspring Pharmacy on Piedmont Avenue in Oakland back in November.
And Henry, I'm curious, is this the first time the pharmacy has been targeted, or do they have a history of problems?
Actually, both of those pharmacies were targeted during the George Floyd protests in Oakland, so they've gone through this many, many times.
Yeah.
What's the matter, Jen? One of these days we're going to be ready. Jen is going to have all her stuff working. Now Rumble gets to watch live as we have technical difficulties. So they're robbing. The interesting thing about the robbery of these pharmacies were there was a string of them throughout Los Angeles, and they got away with a whole bunch of pills that they thought were opiates, but they were really blood pressure.
They were Midol. You did
blood pressure medication.
I can't even go to CVS here. You can't buy deodorant anymore without them waiting. You have to wait when there's only 2 people working in the entire store. Razors you have to bring to the counter, detergent, deodorant.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. They're locking everything up. But so this, blood pressure pills, from blood pressure pill theft to smash and grabs. Watch what's happening to jewelry stores in Los Angeles. This is crazy.
They had hoodies on and they had their face covering, so we couldn't tell what they were here for. But once we saw the hammers, we all became panicked.
The owner of David's Jewelry in El Monte is talking about this smash and grab. His security cameras captured 3 men smashing glass display cases. A customer who was inside left, and the owner says that's him, his wife, daughter, and a family friend fighting for their business.
Just grab chairs and things and start throwing them to fight back.
His wife began pulling jewelry out of the cases so the thieves couldn't grab it. But the owner, who doesn't want to be identified, says the group seemed highly organized and within minutes had taken nearly $1 million worth of gold and jewels. This morning he opened his shop to begin repairs as detectives started looking into whether the same thieves that robbed him might be linked to other smash and grabs in nearby areas. Outside security cameras did capture this image of the suspect's vehicle, a Chevy Avalanche. Detectives tell us it was last seen on the 10 West.
I swear to God. You know, they'd really be smart if all the jewelry was just fake. Just put fake jewelry there to show people, and then you could bring it out.
And then you can bring it out when you sell it.
And they pay for it.
Yeah, swap the costume. Margie says they're locking everything up but the criminals. And that's exactly right, Margie. It's our world has to be inconvenienced because people like Gascon and Soros feel that it is an unjust world that we live in when we demand to be safe. Can you imagine people wanting to be safe? I don't get it. I don't get it. Follow the freaking law. And here's a little clip about you can't even go for a ride in Los Angeles. Here's what's going on in the LA transit system.
Data from Metro show that violent crime is up 36% over the last year. Tonight, Los Angeles police are on the hunt for this suspect who was captured on surveillance video stabbing a man after stealing his cell phone aboard a Metro Green Line train in South Los Angeles. Watch as the male suspect grabs the victim's cell phone and takes off. The victim chases after him, the two struggle over the phone, and the suspect stabs the victim before running away. That was on February 12th on the 11,600 block of Avalon Boulevard, and it is one of dozens of violent crimes captured on camera aboard LA County transit lines. This video, posted by KFI reporter Steve Gregory, shows some of the brutality commuters have faced between 2019 to 2021. Shootings, fighting, even stabbings as riders watch helplessly. We see people being sucker punched and beaten. In one instance, a man laying on a bench is grabbed and thrown onto the train tracks. And there are other incidents too graphic to show you, such as sexual assaults.
It's not safe sometimes, and that's a fact.
According to Metro data, violent crime is up 36% over the last year. One of the most shocking incidents took place in January when a homeless man attacked 70-year-old Sandra Shells, an emergency room nurse who was waiting for a bus near Union Station when she was killed.
It's terrible. Who the hell would want to live in California anyway?
I don't know. Lucille's there right now. Lucille, what the hell are you doing in California?
What do you know in California?
Really? And why would you want to go there? What's the difference? She lives in New York. It's just as bad. We just decided to focus a little bit on California. Jody Wasserman says, gross, we agree. Jody says, not me. She wouldn't want to live in California. The thing is that we're focusing on all the wrong things, right? So the majority of us have to feel unsafe. So some people like Gascon and Soros and what's his name, Braggs in New York, they can play God. They think that they could restore justice somehow or another. But it doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter whether you have money or not. If you commit a crime, you ought to be in jail. And unfortunately, we've got citizens now getting involved and putting their own lives on the line in trying to combat this violence. Watch what happened. This 80-year-old man, liquor store owner, they break into his store, and the poor guy, he winds up having a heart attack after this. Watch this.
Live gunfire inside a California liquor store early Sunday morning, captured on this video.
They came in telling him, freeze.
A man enters the store with a long gun, but the 80-year-old shop owner working the counter was ready for him. Firing a single shot, hitting the 23-year-old would-be robber in the arm.
The guy was screaming, he shot my arm off, he shot my arm off.
The getaway car taking off, almost leaving one suspected accomplice behind. Store employees say this shop owner was ready, spotting them on high-definition cameras just recently installed, according to NBC Los Angeles.
He prepares himself. He's dealt with this before. He's kind of like, he already knew it was a possibility.
After the shot, watching the men on surveillance cameras as they fled. Those cameras capturing video employee Marnie Tapia posted on Facebook with the caption, "Never underestimate our boss."
He always wants us to feel safe, and so, he's very protective of us all. He makes us feel better.
As for the other three suspects, they were located in a hospital parking lot nearby in that BMW SUV, which had been previously reported stolen, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. Police say those men, ages 22, 24, and 27, were in possession of numerous stolen firearms. Inside the hospital, the 23-year-old primary suspect, police say he's in critical but stable condition with wounds consistent with a gunshot blast.
Absolutely ridiculous. What are you laughing at?
I'm sorry. I think maybe it's wrong of me, but I was so hysterical when the kid ran out going, he shot my arm off. He shot my arm off. Well,
I'm disgusted. I can't even laugh at this anymore.
Oh, I think it's hysterical. You know what? The loser, absolutely loser. If you're going in and you're going to rob a liquor store with a gun, it's okay that he had a gun. But when he got shot in the arm, he goes crying like a freaking baby. He shot my arm off. Well, what do you think is going to happen, my friend?
Well, look at the guy that got killed in the deli that tried to beat up that old man in New York.
Absolutely. He should have shot his head. Yeah, you're right. And
then he would have been put in jail like that other guy.
Well, isn't it interesting that right now, 2A, our gun rights, we're talking about taking assault weapons out of off the shelves, and now Glock 19s, which we just bought one. They want to get rid of those because they're automatic weapons. Really? So we're supposed to subject ourselves to crap like that and not be able to protect ourselves? I'm sorry.
Those guns aren't the problem. None of these people are going in to apply for a gun license or a gun legally. Zero.
Well, you're right. And they'll never. And the criminals will always have the guns, and the law-abiding citizens won't. Let me just update you on Lucille. She's very safe. She's boarding a boat on Balboa Island, having a blast on a girls' trip. Have a shot for us, Lucille. Good for you.
She's now a liberal.
She's not a liberal. Through osmosis, people don't bring knives to gunfights anymore. That's right, Chris. And you know what? Yeah, I think it's the funniest thing when these criminals cry. It's hysterical. So speaking of fun, and we have 15 clips tonight. That's why I'm kind of rolling it through, because I couldn't.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. That's good.
Okay, well, there are so many. So this next one, this guy is a homeless guy. His name was Michael Austin Donna. He walks into a outdoor restaurant, punches a senior citizen in the head, and robs him of his phone and wallet. And then the owner grabs him and holds him until police come. But guess what? This guy was arrested twice before and let out on bonds of no money whatsoever. He's a homeless guy. Watch this one. This again is in Los Angeles. Thank you, Gascon.
Surveillance video shows a homeless person sucker punch an elderly man, then get tackled by a business owner. Tim Ratcliffe ran down the wannabe thief after they took the victim's phone and wallet.
As I was coming around the corner, he turned and hit me once in the face, which, it is what it is. But I took him down and just kept him there till the police arrived.
The tackle right into the intersection of La Brea and Hollywood. Ratcliffe's girlfriend and another witness helped until cops arrived.
I saw the video. You sat on that guy for like 9 minutes.
Yes, it was, I'm not going to lie, the adrenaline was a lot at that point, and afterwards it was exhausting. I felt like I had worked out the next day for quite a bit.
The incident happening the same day as LAPD announced they're adding 200 officers to Hollywood Division for spiking crime.
Even one of the officers and I talked about it, and they're tired of it. A lot of people like myself are tired of this type of thing happening, and so we're seeing it more and more. People just, not putting up with it and taking it into their own hands, which I'm glad for, and I'd happily do it again.
In Hollywood, Travis Rice, Fox 11 News.
That was pretty funny.
Well, I should have put the other clip in where the girl in the flowered outfit, the shorts, the one that was picking up the wallet, she was actually kicking the criminal in the video. It was great. But, oh, man. But, I mean, they're tired of it. People in Los Angeles are tired of it. And they got a petition, and they got signatures on that petition to recall Gascon. And they
did it with Newsom too.
Well, Newsom, he won outright. We know that was probably rigged. But this one, they didn't even let the petition go forward. They said that 250,000 signatures were not legally collected, so they threw it off the ballot. And that was the Board of Elections did that. Jody Washington says, "I love some men." Well, some. I like that you qualified it to some men.
Some 10%.
Well, I think this guy was cool. I mean, you can tell he's like a surfer dude, and the last thing you'd expect is him to go tackle a guy in the street. But finally, people are starting to stand up for their rights, and I'm kind of glad of it. So we're focusing on all the cities that were having the peaceful protests during the George Floyd riots. Okay, so Mayor Lori Lightfoot. So how you think things are going in Chicago, Jen? You think they're going well?
Oasis of delight, I hear.
Well, when I was in Chicago, and I used to love Chicago, I always rode the trains to get everywhere, and it was a great experience. But now, let's see what's going on in Mayor Lightfoot's Chicago train station. Watch this.
For the second time in 3 days, cops and crime tape at the 79th Street Red Line stop. A 17-year-old boy, police say, critically wounded during an afternoon gun battle right outside the station.
It makes me scared. Very scared to even take the train.
The shooting comes as more cops are added to the transit system, following the fatal weekend shooting of 29-year-old Deontay Moon, a father of an 8-year-old girl, who was shot while on board a northbound Red Line train at the same 79th Street station. Police now looking for these two men in connection with the murder.
CTA technically is now becoming a transport authority for hoodlums.
So far this year, crime is up 33% compared to last year, with nearly 600 batteries reported, almost 3 a day. To beef up staffing, the CTA is bringing back K-9 security teams that were removed in 2019, and CPD is reassigning officers from desk duty and specialized units.
We're going to have to pivot more and more resources from administrative jobs to assignments like the CTA.
All you need to do is lock them up. That is it. And I bet those kids really wish the masks were back in, because that was an easy thing for all of them. I'm shocked that they're not wearing them.
I love that woman. The CTA is becoming the transport system for hoodlums. I love that word. Hoodlums is a great word. Spells for hoodlums. Oh, Mayor Lightfoot's city of wonderfulness is becoming an oasis for killing young men and killing innocent bystanders and killing people. Let's see what Chris has to say. Where's Lydia Dietz to put Beetlejuice back? Oh my God. I have to tell you, every time I see Mayor Lightfoot, I think
Oh
of
my
that.
God.
I just want to say Beetlejuice.
She is a beauty queen.
Yeah. And let's go across over to Portland. Remember Portland? That was the whole kumbaya during the George Floyd. Wow, watch what's happening to this poor coffee shop owner in Portland.
It started when Locke walked in, grabbed a Coke from this cooler and chugged it down. The owner tries talking to him, but when he ignores her, she grabs her phone to call for help, but gets hit in the process.
She flew backwards and he took the phone that she was calling for help with.
Police officers caught up with Locke 2 blocks away, but the violence continued. According to court papers, the defendant first attempted to punch Officer Sri Songkham with a closed fist. The defendant then attempted to punch Officer Wells in the face before refocusing on Officer Sri Songkham with a barrage of punches. When officers used a taser, things got worse. The defendant then rushed at Officer Wells like a football player and punched her in the face as he knocked her to the ground. Officers Flower, Wells, and Sri Songkham all sustained injuries. Locke was eventually booked on assault and robbery charges, but we're told the victim didn't get a chance to tell her full story in court.
They told her to get on the Zoom call at 2:30. She got on early at 2:15. They were halfway done without her. Not only that, they released him after less than 24 hours.
So now Locke is back on the streets, and employees at this coffee shop are deeply concerned.
It's hard to be here. It's draining to be downtown. You know, there's a reason that I don't spend much time downtown outside of my job, because it's sad. It's devastating.
Yeah, I reached out to the prosecuting attorney in this case and to the Portland Police Bureau trying to get more answers to what happened here, why he was released so early. We've got a lot of questions, and we will certainly continue to follow this story and let you know when we get more answers. Reporting live in downtown Portland, Wayne Haberly, KOIN 6 News.
Was that Tina Forte?
Yes.
It looked just like her. Forget it.
Well, let's break it down. He punches the owner of the shop and 3 police officers, decks them. Okay, and he's out. He's out. He's
of course
not
he
out.
is.
Not a business owner and 3 cops, and he's out. But wait a minute, Jody Wasserman's in trouble. Hold on a second. I got in trouble about my comment regarding the guy. The guy
with the arm. She said, "Shoot him in the." I'm not going to say.
They took it down and warned me. Gun, not gut. Okay. All right. So Facebook is
watching
live,
us,
monitoring our live broadcast. Good. Facebook here.
But if you write on Facebook for 2 years and you're going to kill everybody, that's fine.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I love that. So the Facebook police are actually monitoring our live broadcast and the comments that we have up. That is hysterical. Well, Facebook, I wonder what you're going to think about this. Let's go over to Seattle, because this, you'll not believe, a typical Monday morning in Seattle in the homeless encampment. Watch.
Scenes of violence on the streets of the Emerald City. The Spotlight has obtained video of a wild stabbing that led to an AK-47 style rifle being fired in a Seattle homeless camp. Take a look as a van pulls up to drop off food for the people who are living in tents on 13th Street, just north of Dearborn, between the Goodwill and Public Storage building. The guy bending over to pick up food is David Charles Burchak. His wife has been having issues with a woman named Arias Beckett Sumpay, better known on the streets as Lady Gangster. Apparently, Burchak told Lady Gangster she needed to move her tent. Instead, she sneaks up behind him and shanks him repeatedly with a knife, lacerating his liver, intestines, spleen, and severing a tendon in his arm. Lady Gangster then casually heads up the stairs that leads towards 12th Avenue and the Navigation Center. Meanwhile, Burchak runs to his tent and grabs his rifle, managing to squeeze off a round before succumbing to his wounds. At that point, his friend, who is yet to be identified, takes the AK-47 style rifle and peels off a series of shots at Lady Gangster as she scampers up the hill. This is all happening at 10 a.m. on a Monday. Meanwhile, Burchak's friend stashes the rifle back in Burchak's tent, where his wife tries to play keep away from the police, forcing them to get a warrant to access the tent, even though they can see the rifle clear as day through the mesh of the tent. Cops get a judge to issue a warrant for both Burchak and Lady Gangster's tents. Burchak's wife then bites one officer and scratches another, drawing blood. Police eventually seize the AK-47 style rifle and 2 bolt-action guns.
Lady Gangster. Lady Gangster. How do you take anybody seriously with that name? Lady Gaga? No, it's Lady Gangster.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So Facebook, Chris Cuddy has a message for you. Facebook, warning. Suck it. Good for you, Chris. So let me get this straight. He's got 2 bolt-action rifles and AR-15 in his tent. In his tent. Okay? We want to talk about reducing law-abiding citizens' ability to own guns. But these homeless people have all
and I'm sure he had a gun license.
I'm sure he applied, and they said, "What? Where do
What's
you
your
live?"
address?
Oh,
The tent.
You
I
live
live
in a tent
at the corner.
I want to be in the courtroom when the judge got the cops coming in asking for a warrant to search a tent that was made of mesh.
The fact that you need a warrant to even do that is ridiculous.
It's Seattle. The criminals have more rights than the people, and the police have no rights whatsoever. So anyway, this is funny. I find it hysterical that Facebook is live monitoring us. This is really interesting. I mean, so many things I want to talk about, but I want Facebook to see all the things that are going on in the world, because in the Facebook universe, you know, mean stuff isn't allowed to be said, but
fake news.
But it's okay that, you know, thousands of people are dying, millions of people are crossing borders illegally. All that is okay, Facebook. Okay, so that's great. All right, so let's see. So Detroit police chief is begging Governor Whitmer's judges to help him keep the streets of Detroit safe. Watch this. I love when they start calling each other out like that.
Police Chief James White front and center, along with other law enforcement officers on this Friday night.
We're going to use our technology. We're using our real-time crime center. We're using patrol. We're using data.
All of this to keep people safe. And not just downtown, but also in the neighborhoods, where the majority of the recent shootings have occurred. From the east side to the west side. Last weekend, 19 wounded, 5 killed. The weekend prior, 24 people wounded and 7 killed.
The officers show up day in and day out, you know, to protect this community, but we need the back end of the judicial system to help us out. You know, we're rearresting folks.
The shots fired out the vehicle.
Case in point, a 14-year-old arrested Thursday night after leading police on a high-speed chase in a stolen vehicle, all while one of the passengers continually shot at police with an assault rifle. That 14-year-old out on bond just 2 days after he was arrested for allegedly shooting his girlfriend. A judge had set the bond at $8,000, 10%.
I'm very confident in our plan. I'm very confident in the professionalism of our officers, and they're doing their part. We need the rest of the parts to work. We need accountability across the board.
So much of this violence is preventable if we just keep these people locked up when they do it the first time around. And it just sort of boggles the mind. And as you said, begs the question, why are these judges letting people out on such low bonds?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the chief had about 5 minutes with me, right? So we didn't have a lot of time. And, you know, he told me, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. He said that. But he also reiterated what the assistant chief said. It's not the prosecutor's fault. Well, then whose fault is it? Who's responsible for setting these bonds? Okay, it's the judges. Why are they setting them so low? Why aren't they being held accountable? It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And there's a lot of, you know, it's something obviously that we all feel, I think, needs to change.
If one of their family members were shot or anything, that person would be thrown in jail in 2 seconds and not let out. I guarantee you.
Well, I guess we're getting somewhere when the news commentators, and I try to get news from a broad spectrum, and I really try to get it from the noted liberal news media so that nobody can call it fake news, as Chris says here. But when they start saying what the hell is going on, then maybe we're getting somewhere. Chris is saying soon you're going to have a disclaimer posted by the fact checkers. It's all fake news. That's right, Chris. And that's why I tried to take the clips from news sources, especially CNN, MSNBC. I think that, when I give it back to them in their own language, it's better off, and it can't, less of a chance of people saying, oh, you're only taking one side of the situation. But at any rate, no, this one you're good. This. Okay. So things have gotten so bad out there that in Barack Obama's home state of Hawaii, things are so bad that store owners are locking up spam. Not watch.
The New York Post thought they had breaking spam news. Spam blocker, the paper declared. Crime and inflation cited for the dystopian incarceration of lunch meat. But here in Honolulu, one of the biggest national retailers has had its spam in individual lockboxes for quite some time. A store clerk told me in November it has been an issue of crime. The president of the Retail Merchants of Hawaii agrees.
And it's not just spam. It's meats, it's seafood, it's liquor, it's a lot of macadamia nuts is another one that's really big.
100% Kona coffee gets the treatment, as does corned beef hash. Locked up liquor and shaving razors have always been a thing, but since the pandemic, shoplifting has become more brazen.
Yeah, there was salons over there in Chinatown shut down because people came in there with hammers and robbed the store. Security says, I don't get paid enough to handle this.
Retail Merchants of Hawaii says some merchants are putting their hopes with the courts and prosecutors to address the recurring smash and grab style serial robberies. Mom and pop stores hope they can avoid as much of that disorder as possible, but say with retail theft, a big part of the job is always staying vigilant. Reporting live, Jeremy Lee, KITV4 Island News.
First off, who the hell would want to steal spam? Have you ever tasted that? It's like a gelled meat in a can. It's like the gefilte fish of meat. And she just gave the list of everything in the world that's everything. Everything's locked up. Macadamia nuts and spam. Hey, honey, you want to go eat? Let me go steal some spam. That is disgusting. Let them have it. They're going to die of freaking clogged arteries.
Well,
I swear to God, people are coming up to my door. Wait.
You're gonna have to turn your set around, Jen, so that we can see the people behind you.
You have no idea what's going on out here.
And that's the Right Stuff fan club.
I can't. Those are teachers. They teach our children.
They want spam. They want spam. Do you have spam? You have to give them.
They want a beer pong table. They're trying to.
They need spam. Feed them spam. Let them eat spam, I say.
Oh my gosh.
No, but listen. They put the spam in individual lock boxes, not behind, a shelf. All right, you want a spam? Okay. But they're in individual lock boxes.
Because you just can't take it home and then just smash it with a hammer. They look like prizes. Listen, I went to the store the other day, Western Beef by me, And you can't walk in with your own shopping bags. You have to give it to the people all the way in the front, which makes no sense because they don't give you bags for your groceries.
Oh, so they don't want you walking in with bags because it's too easy to shoplift.
But they don't give you bags to pack your groceries.
Right. So then how do you get your groceries home? Do
I
you
have
stuff it
absolutely
in
no
your
fucking
pants?
clue. I have no fucking clue. The guy was just standing there like, what? And she took his 3 folded bags and put them in a cubby and gave him a ticket. He's like, how am I supposed to leave here with my stuff?
So wait a minute. So you go shopping, then you go bring the ticket back to get your bags when you're on the checkout? It's like code check?
But then when you get back, all your shit's stolen. So I was like, who put this system into place?
Oh my God, that's hysterical. Oh my God. But they're locking up spam. That's all I got to say. Not behind the case. There are spam boxes. So there are lock boxes for spam. Everybody. But why not? Joe Biden just signed a couple of $1 trillion bill that he admits is going to do nothing to reduce inflation, but it's going to provide us environmental justice.
All that money they spent on spam showcases, they could have just hired more security to stand in the aisles.
That's what I'm thinking. The time and effort. Oh, so you take your spam, you put it in the cart, and then they got to unlock it with the spam key? I mean...
Aisle 3, there's a person that wants spam. Please report to aisle 3. There's a person with absolutely disgusting taste who has no value.
Well, here's something you don't know about Hawaii. Hawaii actually has many of their dishes include spam.
That's where their plant is. It's in Hawaii.
A spam.
I think so. There's a spam museum. But now there is. Don't even ask why I know this.
Apparently the spam museum is in every grocery store. It's locked up in a box. Okay, so they're locking up spam. All right.
Oh, it's in Minnesota. It's in Minnesota. Sorry.
Oh, the spam museum is in Minnesota. What do they have on display? Spam?
Spam.
Like old spam? What do they do? I don't understand.
I don't know.
All right, I'm going to Minnesota. I'm going to go.
Hey, honey, do you want to go see some canned pre-cooked meat in Minnesota?
Gelatinous pre-cooked meat. Oh, that's hysterical. All right, well, so while Gascon is letting, and all of the liberal DAs are letting people out of jail in Georgia, cops caught a break when this wanted murderer decided to call the cops himself to report that his McDonald's French fries were cold. Watch this one. Can't make this up.
I try to fry the fries. They're lukewarm, but they're not hot.
Kennesaw police say that's what started an argument between this man, Antoine Sims, and the owner of this McDonald's.
Next thing you know, he's throwing his drink at me.
The officer spoke with the owner, who said he was causing a scene, he was cursing at him, he threw a drink, and he wanted him to leave and to be issued a criminal trespass warning.
It's a simple form that says, hey, just don't come back to this McDonald's.
When officers put Sims' name into the computer, they learned he'd been in jail before.
Wanted person, caution, violence, armed and dangerous.
Sims was charged in the murder of a woman in Johns Creek in 2018. Her body was found inside a burning car. He ran from police then and was later captured by U.S. Marshals in Wisconsin. He was currently out on bond, but had a warrant out of Fulton County for failure to appear.
Come over here, I'm going to have you sign this real quick.
When police tried to give Sims the warning, he took off running.
As soon as he runs away, the other officers begin to chase after him.
They caught up with him in an apartment complex.
An officer gives chase for a few seconds and tases him in the back, where it hits his back and his leg, and he immediately goes to the ground.
Taser deployed! Taser deployed! Put your hands out! Put your hands out! Hands out!
After complaining about his cold fries, this man, who already had murder charges against him, is now headed back to jail.
It's very unusual that someone, knowing that he is wanted by the police, would call the police.
He's going to have a lot more cold food in jail. Like, how do you let someone out on bond that ran from the cops the first time and didn't show? Wait, whatever.
For murder! For murder! For
On a
murder!
bond.
Yeah. A woman's body found in the trunk of a burned car, and he was let out on bond.
Yeah, because we trust him.
Yeah, right. But I'm sorry, am I wrong that I was giggling with glee when he was yelling because he was tased?
No, it's hysterical.
All right. Well, so now we're going to get to some judges. We're going to take a look at some judges on the bench and how they handle things. Well, this guy wanted an order of protection against his wife, but the judge needed to be convinced. So watch what happened with this.
Are you asking the court to enter an order restraining the respondent from any contact with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've taken your statements in your petition as part of your testimony, but I need you to tell me briefly, in your own words, what happened to cause you to ask for a domestic violence order.
Yes, Your Honor. Things have been escalating, I guess, since the first of the year, and Melissa's had a couple MIWs and a couple arrests, and she got out of jail in, I guess, April. And she started, we hadn't really had anything personal up until that point. She got out of jail in April, and she started.
Our personal life is your business, John. It has nothing to do with
Miss Hardwick,
boys. No.
You will be held in contempt of this court if you become disruptive.
I don't care. I haven't done anything to this court. I haven't done anything to him.
She will be arrested for contempt of the court.
It doesn't make any difference.
You will serve 10 days for contempt of court. You go now.
Get off of me!
Stand back.
Wait and see. Get my bracelet off the floor.
The emergency protective order will remain in place of no contact.
Well, they're getting a divorce. Why you don't get married?
I think that judge kept her cool when that lady jumped over the bench to kill her. That was pretty good. Okay, let's see. What's Gloria have to? What the hell? But at least you're a star on Facebook. Well, I don't know about that. Soon you're gonna have it to say. Oh, okay, we got that. Perhaps he'll get spam in jail.
You can. It's all locked up.
It's all locked up. I think the judge is convinced. Yeah, me too. I mean, I gotta give her kudos. I mean, she jumped back for a second when she came over the bench, but she kept her she kept her cool. Okay, I love this judge. This one is great. Dealing with an absolute airhead who was clubbing and was in possession of Molly, I think it was. Watch this. Oops.
So, are you working?
Yes.
How much money are you making a week, approximately?
Approximately about $200 a week.
Okay, and do you own any property of value? A house, a car, a bank account, significant amounts of jewelry?
Yes.
What do you own?
I own a lot of jewelry, all right, as well as
Go ahead.
a car.
Well, how much would you say your jewelry is worth? Well, it's not a joke, you know. We are not in a club now.
Okay, but if you know,
Hey, well, you see, we are not in a club. Be serious about it.
I'm serious about it.
You're being very. I can see you're serious, all right.
You just made me laugh. I apologize.
It's all right. How much is your jewelry worth?
It's worth a lot of money.
Like what?
Like Rick Ross.
Huh?
It's worth money.
Have you had any kind of drugs in the last 24 hours?
Actually, no.
Actually, no.
Judge, I'll make it easy for the court, respectfully. I'll accept appointment at this time.
No, I'm going to appoint you because you own a lot of substantial amounts of jewelry. You can go and sell your jewelry. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Come back, ma'am. Come back. Come back. Give me the paper again. Count one would be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios. Come back again. Come back again. Bring him back again.
What's up?
I believe I heard you saying to...
Yes, I did. I'm not going to the...
I believe you... Did you say...
Actually, I
Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you did say that?
I'm not
I
gonna
find you in
lie.
direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county jail.
She's gonna fight her. That Molly, when that Molly wears off, man.
Wow, we need more of those judges. We need more of those judges. That was, to me, that was just fantastic. I mean, that was from several years ago, unfortunately, because that judge is probably no longer on the bench. But we need some more of those judges. Well, anyway, so this is our last video, and this way, the next crime is quite disturbing. Roberto Arroyo eluded police for some time after spending 3 hours licking the doorbell of a Salinas, California home. He was eventually arrested for another crime and taken into custody. But let's have a look at Roberto Arroyo. And there he is. And for 3 hours, he licked this doorbell.
And that's how COVID started.
He got a lot of dates.
And monkeypox, too. Oh, yeah. And syphilis. And AIDS. It all came from that lady's doorbell. All of it.
You can find the whole 3 hours on YouTube if you care to look at it.
I'm going to put that on when we're trying to go to bed tonight.
He now teaches sex ed.
God. I can't. Oh.
Want to see it again?
Oh! Well, we know what he's good at.
I love that he looks right into the camera.
That's his Tinder video.
I can't even say it, but yeah, I'm sure he's got a few dates. Oh, well, we had 15 videos, you know what? And I had so many more to show you, but I didn't think that we'd get them all in, but we wound up doing 15, and we're early. So ladies and gentlemen, remember your district attorney. That's the Jody Wasserman fun. Jody, is he one of the guys you like? It's always good to look in the eyes at times.
Instead of you could ring my bell, it's you can lick my bell.
Jen does not look phased at all.
Nothing. Do you know where I live? You know where I live.
Yeah, I mean, but I love, he looks to make sure that the ring is on, and then he looks straight into the doorbell's eyes, and then he turns his back on. It's like, did he need private time? 3 hours.
Like, did he catch a cold after that? What happened?
I'm telling you, he got a lot of dates. Actually, the video was so widely seen on the internet that it was actually on Cops, and it was on, and when they picked him up for something else. I think it was vagrancy, and the cop that picked him up recognized him from the doorbell video, and yeah, so You got a ticket. I'm just trying to figure out.
His new name is Lick It.
What now?
That's his jail name.
But what penal code was he violating by licking the doorbell? Is my question.
Destruction of property.
No,
bell.
Bell was in good condition. He could have just said he was just cleaning it. But anyway, so it was great having everybody. It was a great show. Jen, I know you're fans. You want to turn the camera around so that everybody can see your face?
I told them all to shut the F up. I don't know where they. Oh yeah, well there you go. That's what's going on there.
That's what's going on.
Grown ass adults. Oh look, another teacher. And then look, one of our NYPD's finest.
So we're getting ready for an evening by the pool.
Yeah, well.
This is the great North Shore of Staten Island. This is Irby, and everybody should make their way down there. Some great restaurants down there. Pasta Vino's down there. Seppi Pizza's down there. You have great food, great eats. And
This is a middle-aged cruise ship. That's what this is.
That's what it is. All right. Well, we managed to do it. We got a simulcast on Rumble. We didn't help our ratings at all, but we did it. So we were live on Rumble. If you were watching us on Rumble, please subscribe and give us a Rumble.
It's free. It's free. It's free. There's no reason.
It's free. If you're watching us on Facebook, share it with your friends. Tell them to watch us, and we will be back on Tuesday with another great episode of Right Stuff. Hopefully we'll have no technical difficulties, but we say that every
I told
week.
you we were going to.
You did indeed. You jinxed us. Okay, daughter, go to your company, and everybody have a great week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.